All right, so that's for budgets. You'll also need to decide whether or not you're going to have this managed. In other words, are you going to provide people to do the updates? Are they going to take on uh, making sure that things are running? Are they going to monitor? There's a lot of things that go into both on both sides of this. So there are some expenses that the less you have your staff do, the more you'll have professionals do. And in my opinion, in the long term, it'll save you a scat of money for the peace of mind. So, as well as for the downtime. When things aren't working, you get an entire team working on it. Uh, all right, so, and that brings us right into personnel versus vendors. And if you have your own staff, or if it's just, um, or if you just currently use vendors. And if you like them, let's continue to use them, get them involved in this discussion, and we can take it to the next level, making sure that the transfer from your home site to your remote site is a smooth one. So as you go offsite, uh, it'll be a smooth transition. So that takes us to personnel versus vendors, and we've touched on this already. If you like your staff, um, and if they have the expertise, or if you're going to use vendors for things. There are two vendors that I love to work with for these type of projects. One takes care of storage, the other one takes care of Microsoft stuff. He configures, he also responds when things go down. And we'll also have a NOC, a Network Operations Center, for you to address with either solution. And then Microsoft, you'll need to be aware that um, there, as you offsite things, licensing, if you're doing your colo, you'll be responsible for that completely, and no one's going to have eyes on that. If you're in the VDC, you may find people will want, depending on who you use as your virtual data center, they might require you to buy a license from them because they do an audit to make sure that all licenses for Microsoft products have been paid for. So just be aware of that. It might be something you haven't come across before. All right. Hardware owned versus leased. If you want to just continue to use all your own hardware, then the colo is a great option for you. You wouldn't have to change your staff, you wouldn't have to change your processes. You would have to change your connectivity, and you might need a little extra help getting your end users to connect to it. If we go with an RDP solution, we can also put that into the colo. So as you put in your email, it's all in the same environment. That's completely doable and acceptable. We can also do the same thing in the virtual data center for RDP. We can also try a mixed solution so that you don't have you have your staff working wherever they are, connecting to that SQL server, and maybe if we can get the connection stable, you don't have to worry about getting the remote desktop environment set up correctly in that hosted in that colo or the virtual data center. And then last of all, we come up to managed versus self. So this is basically a styling question. Do you like to manage stuff yourself, or do you like to offload that to others so you can focus in on the stuff you're good at? Uh, there's no uh, there's no one right answer, but there's a whole lot of horrible answers. So I highly encourage you to meet with us. We can get to know you a little bit better, and then I can make introductions to people who can take care of you and help during this transition phase, just so that you know for sure that you're making the right decisions. Whether you use any of the suggested vendors that I have or not, you'll be much more comfortable taking that step and making that decision. So I hope this has been helpful, and please feel free to contact me with any questions, anything I misspoke on, or any questions I didn't address. Please feel free to give me a call. I'll include my contact information in the email, and we'll talk to you soon.